Guys, I want to share with you some wisdom to stop gossiping and why is it not beneficial and why is it bad, etc. Or why is it best not to gossip or speak of any person. And also maybe spread this positivity so that you basically know there is difference between choosing. You choose, for example, you have been in certain places, you have seen some types of people, you have seen many types of people. You just choose not to be that, like a person like those you've seen, because your values are different. For example, you value spirituality, you value health, you value, religion, whatever. You have different values, and although you can be completely sure that you are on the right path, that you are completely right, if you disagree with other people or think that some people are despicable and there are tangible reasons for it, if they have not caused you direct, if they have not directly caused you any harm, then what you could do is basically just choose a different lifeline or a different scenario. So, for example, if you see a nerd, a person who studies a lot, and you don't like that person, so instead of making fun of them or sneering at them or gossiping about them, like look at this nerd or waste, just if you don't like that, for example, just choose not to be like that. There's nothing wrong with nerds. You can also choose contentious topics. If you don't like a politician, if he has not directly caused you any harm, you have no right to judge them. Why? Let me tell you why. What you could do is basically you could choose not to have the same life. For example, if you see crooks, liars, right, people that live with no integrity, for example, you can choose and see that. So you are in a gallery. Imagine you are in a gallery and you see many different beautiful works of art. You don't like a picture, you'd be like, okay, this is not of my taste. I don't like that. This is a process for getting to know yourself. If you don't like that, you don't judge it. You just move away and to the next picture, and you make a conclusion not to be the same, like not to draw, right, not to produce the same types of pictures. If you don't like horror movies, you will make sure that you don't attend horror movies and that you don't produce horror films or watch them. That's it. That's all you can do, or that's all you have to do. You don't have to gossip and say horror movies, shit, man. Like, what is the benefit? If you're trying to, like, what is your intention? If you're trying to educate people about their health and that horror movies are maybe harmful to them because you care and because this is a subject of your niche or because you preach, okay, you're doing it with good intent, but never to meander or digress into belittling people or into, you know, indulging or wallowing in this negative atmosphere. So I'll tell you why. Because the first question I want to ask you is, the marker needs to be replaced. The first question I want to ask you or tell you is, if you despise, for example, let's take a look at adult industry. For example, I'm just giving you an example. Uh, Gigolos or butterflies. If you despise those people, you really create excess potential. Do you know what circumstances caused them to be the way they are? Do you know what caused them to behave in a way they behave? Do you know what caused them, the circumstances that they had, the childhood that they had, everything that they experienced to become the person they became? Do you know? The next question is, if you know or you may not know, are you like Are you immune to the same circumstances or the situations that caused them to be in this position? Are you immune to that? You are not immune to that. Okay, so you can also end up to be the same thing. If you have for example, if you despise prostitutes and you speak bad about them and you despise them, you might find yourself one day to be in their place. Why? Because you express hate towards that energy, and that is going to appear in abundance in your life. And not only that, you may we can't, like, you can't explain how reality, like, you can't completely 100% explain how reality works. I'm not giving you this as a promise or the ultimate fact or truth, but you might as well find some person from your family member or your children become prostitutes. If, like, this is not some punishment. No, this is just like, if you are, it's for example, if you let me give it to you in a different way. So if explain it to you in a different way, if you see some people irritating you, right? If you see some people irritating you, that you don't like them, maybe what causes irritation is maybe the thing you hate in yourself. So if you see sleazy people, rogue people, if you see crooks, maybe there is a deeper reason that you despise them. Okay? So maybe that's not your value. If that's not your value, you just simply choose to not be that way and choose positive ways. If you indulge and wallow in gossiping about that, maybe you dislike the fact that they are lazy people. For example, those people are lazy, and that's why they look for sleazy ways to scam people or lie to people. And so you think that maybe there is a part of laziness that you dislike in yourself, and you kind of attribute that to me too much meaning, right? Or maybe you feel jealous if you see prostitutes. You see they have a, like, rich sexual life, and you be like, like, you can't have that, and you kind of try to despise that because you, like, there are many reasons why you do it. But I'm telling you, like, you are not the judge. They have not caused you any harm. And if you don't want, like, it's not like a promise that you will end up in the same situation as they are. It's not a promise. And, like, I'm not saying that, but I'm just telling you, you create excess potential. You create excessive energy in energetic field that is unnecessary. And balanced forces exist. And so what I want to tell you is basically, just try not to judge people. If you think what people do, if you think that some people are doing mistakes or wrong things, like if people, obviously lie or hurt someone, of course you can stand up for the person. You can tell them, guys, do not do this. This is not good. You can tell them. If it's possible that you change and save someone, of course. If it's not, you can speak about it, or just don't indulge in it, and just, like, choose another way and another path. Make a conclusion that you don't want to be that person or behave the same way, in a positive, constructive way, and redirect that energy to action, to positivity, and to all that you want to have. um, if that person caused you harm and you judge them, balanced forces will, like, your judgment will cause them harm, because they have disturbed the balance. They have caused you harm, and as you judge them, they're, balanced forces are going to eliminate the how much, like, the disturbance, the disturbance of the balance, right? So it's best for you not to be the disturbance, not to be the initiator. If they initiated the disturbance, balanced forces will go to that. If you initiate the disturbance, that's not good. I'm not telling you that balanced forces are going to come, or maybe nothing is going to happen. Maybe you will never end up being in a situation or a place of the people that you judge. Just telling you that there are many things to consider before thinking that you are, maybe, like, the angel, or immune to the circumstances that caused them become that way.